would like to discuss the new topic, nuclei. Let us see what is nucleus. Actually, in an atom, there are two important points: the total mass as well as the total positive charge. The total mass as well as the total positive charge situated at the center of the atom, that particular center is called nucleus. That center is called nucleus. Means this is the basic structure of atom, where electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Inside the nucleus, there are two different types of particles. So one is neutrons, the other one is protons. These two particles are said to be nucleons. This way, the total mass of the nucleus is equal to the total mass of neutrons plus the total mass of protons. Here, the mass number is taken as the mass number equals to number of protons plus number of neutrons. That is mass number. The mass number is represented with A, as well as the another one is atomic number. What is atomic number? The atomic number is nothing but number of protons inside the nucleus. Here the atomic number is represented with Z, and there are neutrons also inside the nucleus. The neutron number is represented with N equals to A minus Z. Means A minus Z number of neutrons present inside the nucleus. This is a basic structure of nucleus. Let us see the next one. What are the properties of nucleus? Mostly from last few years, the basic questions definitely comes from nuclear properties. What are the nuclear properties? Let us see. Here the nuclear mass. What is the nuclear mass? This is the first property of nucleus. The nucleus mass is represented with capital M. Where what is capital M? Capital M nothing but the total mass of protons. Total mass of protons plus the total mass of neutrons. The total mass of neutrons. Here the total number of protons. The total number of protons nothing but Z number of protons. That's why Z is number of protons. Each mass is MP, the mass of proton. This gives us the total mass of proton inside nucleus. The second one is the total mass of neutrons. We already explained that A minus Z number of neutrons are inside the nucleus. Each neutron mass is Mn. This is the total mass of the nucleus. Means the mass of the nucleus nothing but the sum of masses of individual nucleons. The nucleons are protons and neutrons. This way ZnP plus A minus Z of Mn is called the total mass of nucleus. Here the mass is generally expressed in AMU. AMU nothing but atomic mass unit, or in kgs. In kgs. Generally 1 AMU equals to, that's almost proton mass, that is 1.67 into 10 power minus 27 kgs. This is equals to 1 AMU. This is the first important property of nucleus. The second important property is the size of nucleus. What is the size of nucleus? Generally, the size of nucleus, nothing but the shape of the nucleus is generally represented as spherical. Where the size can be represented as the volume of the sphere gives us the size. The volume of the sphere is proportional to A. Means if it contains more number of nucleons inside the nucleus, obviously its volume is very high. That's why the volume can be expressed as it is spherical. The volume is 4/3 pi r cube, that is proportional to K. 4/3 pi is already constant. That's why R is proportional to A over 1 by 3. This equation can be written as, to avoid proportional symbol, we have to introduce a constant, that is R naught into A power 1 by 3. Where here R naught is called Fermi constant. Fermi constant, the value is approximately equals to 1.3 into 10 power minus 15 meters, or 10 power 15 meters is called 1 Fermi. This is also can be expressed as 1.3 Fermi. This is the second important property of nucleus, that is the size of nucleus. There is a chance to ask a question from this topic, the size of nucleus. Let's see how we can face that question. Here the question is, compare the radii of nuclei of masses 27 and 64 from the property of size of nucleus. You can write like this: R equals to the radius R equals to R naught into A power 1 by 3. We have this equation where R naught is constant. This way you can write like this: R is proportional to A power 1 by 3. R is proportional to A power 1 by 3. Where from the proportional relation you can write like this: R1 by R2 equals to A1 by A2 whole power 1 by 3. If you take the ratio of the given numbers, what is A1? 27. What is A2? 64 power 1 by 3. This can be written as 27 is 3 cube. This is 4 cube. 4 power 1 by 3. Here 3, 1 by 3 are cancelled. The final result is 3 by 4. This can be also written as 3:4. This is the result. This is also direct question from NCERT textbook. The answer is 3:4 is correct answer. Let's coming to the discuss the next property. What is the next property? Okay, let us see another problem. That is, a nucleus some x 235 split into two nuclei having mass numbers ratio 2:1. What is the ratio of radii? Here also we are using the same property, that is R equals to the basic property is R equals to, or R is proportional to A power 1 by 3, where R is radius and A is mass number. Here the ratio is 2:1, as R1 by R2 is proportional to A1 by A2 whole power 1 by 3. Or this can be written as, if you substitute 2:1, this is the mass number ratio. Mass number nothing but A. The A ratio is given, that is 2 by 1 whole power 1 by 3. Obviously you get 2 power 1 by 3 is 1 power 1 by 3. As 1 power anything is 1, 2 power 1 by 3 is 1. This is the correct answer. This is also direct NCERT question. Why? Because most of the questions directly asked from NCERT textbook. That's why the correct answer is option 3. Let us discuss the next property, that is what is nuclear density. This is also very important. Why? Because the nuclear density is almost constant. What is the density? The general equation for density is the density represented with rho. The density equals to mass by volume, where mass can be represented as mass, nothing but here the mass of nucleus by the volume of the nucleus. Here we have to calculate the mass of a number of nucleons. And write like this: the mass of a number of nucleons by the volume of a number of nucleons. That gives us the total mass of the nucleus as well as the total volume of the nucleus. Here, A will be cancelled. That means what I am saying is the density is independent of A. The rho is independent of A. Independent of mass number. Means the density is almost same. Whatever you take element, that is, whatever the element, nucleus of the element you are taking, the density is almost constant. If you want to write numerical values of this equation, how can you write? Let us take the mass of the nucleus. The mass number can be represented as the mass of nucleus is 10⁻⁻27 kgs. Each nuclear mass is this one unit of A by the volume of the nucleus is a nucleus treated as a spherical in shape. The volume can be taken as 4/3 pi r cube. 4/3 pi r. The individual nuclear, one nuclear mass is the Fermi constant, that is 1.3 into 10⁻⁻15 of A. This is a numerical expression for the density. This property is also very important. Why? Because the density is almost same. Let us see a question based upon this density. That is, this is also previous question in NEET examination. The mass density of nucleus varies with mass A is. How density varies A? That is the question here. Here the density not depend upon A. That's why the mass density is constant. It does not depend upon A square or 1 by A. That's why the correct option is 3. Let us discuss another property, that is the nuclear forces are strong as well as attractive forces. There are two different sentences in this property. The first one is the nuclear forces are strong. How it is strong? How much the nuclear forces are strong? That is, F gravity is F electrostatic as well as F nuclear forces. If you take the ratio, that is approximately 1:10⁻36 is 10⁻38. This is the ratio of nuclear forces, the gravitational, electrostatic as well as nucleus. The nuclear force is much more stronger compared to other two forces, almost 10⁻38 times to gravitational force or 10⁻2 times to the electrostatic force. And moreover, another important thing here is attractive force. The nuclear forces are attractive forces only. Why? Because here also, if you discuss about gravity, the gravitational force are attractive forces only. We should not speak about repulsion in the case of gravity, as well as the electrostatic forces. We observe attractive as well as repulsive forces also. Attractive, repulsive forces also. That is, like charges repel each other, or like charges attract each other. That is the electrostatic nature. But whereas the nuclear forces, these are very strong and only attractive forces. But you have to keep in mind that is the forces are predominant about the average distances 1.5 Fermi only. If two nucleus are such a close to each other, then only these forces act. Otherwise, the nuclear forces are negligible. This is the one of the important property The property is strongest as well as attractive. Let's come into the next property, that is, these are the short range forces. These are the short range forces. Suppose if you take gravity, that is a long range forces. We can speak the gravitational force between the planets as well as stars and different objects in our universe. But whereas if you come to nuclear force, the two nuclei should be, the distances must be, I said, that is 10 power 5 Fermi or 10 power 5 into 10 power minus 15 meters. If two nucleus closer at these distances, then only nuclear forces predominate. In other cases, these are negligible. Suppose the two nucleus separation is above 2 Fermi, the nuclear forces are weakened or decreases. We should not bother about the nuclear forces above 2 Fermi. That's why the nuclear forces are short range forces. The next important property is they are charge independent as well as another property is spin dependent. What is charge independence? Basically, one misconception is inside the nucleus there are protons as well as neutrons, but the neutrons are generally neutral particles, you know very well. The protons are positively charged particles. There exists a repulsion force, electrostatic repulsion force between two protons inside the nucleus. But inside the nucleus, the charge is not considered. Why? Because all these are exist inside the nucleus by virtue of mesonic exchange. Mesonic exchange. Mesonic exchange, nothing but these particles creates mesons or pi mesons, so as to they get stability inside the nucleus. So first, for example, if you take one neutron converted into proton by releasing pi minus meson, as well as proton converted into neutron by releasing pi plus meson. These are the exchange forces. That's why these are also called exchange forces. There is a mesonic exchange takes place. This way, the force between proton and proton, as well as the force between proton and neutron, as well as neutron and neutron, all these are almost equal. This way, the basic property is charge independent. We should not consider the charge the nucleus, as well as the another important property is those are spin dependent. What is the meaning of spin dependence? Here, the spin dependence is nothing but whenever nucleus rotates, there is a spin momentum, spin angular momentum according to right hand rule. If they are moving like this, the momentum is upside. That's why there exists some magnetic forces also. These forces also influence the nature of nucleus. This way, the two properties are important. You have to remember these 2 points. The one is charge independent, the other one is spin dependent. Due to the spin, there arises magnetic angular momentum. Let us see next property. The next property is exchange forces. I have already discussed what is exchange forces. These are exchange forces, means the pi mesons are created inside the nucleus, as well as those are non-central also. If you take gravity, the gravity acts center to center. If a person is standing on the sphere of Earth, the gravitation force acting towards the center of Earth only. But whereas the nuclear forces are non-central, means the attraction may take at any point to any point, not specific center to center. If the forces acting center to center, then those forces are called central forces. The gravitational forces comes under the two body central force problem. The center to center forces only exist in the case of gravity, but whereas the nuclear forces are non-central. These are the very important fundamental properties of nuclei. Let's see the next concept. What are the types of nucleus? There are several types of nuclei. Here, the first type is isotopes. In which case, the nucleus said to be the isotopes. The isotopes simply you can say same atomic number and different mass number. Different E. Same atomic number, different E. Whenever A is different, obviously the neutron number changes. Means you can also speak like this. Different neutron number. Why? Because A minus Z varies. A minus Z is number of neutrons that varies. And also, if you take example to this one, what are the basic examples? The isotopes of hydrogen. 1H1, protium, deuterium, tritium. If you consider the suffix here 111 represent atomic number Z, here same 111. But whereas if you search about mass number 1, 2, 3, different A, those are isotopes. And also you can take carbon isotopes. What are the carbon isotopes? The carbon isotopes are 6C12, 6C13, 6C14. These are carbon isotopes. Here also same Z, so that is same, different A. And the next type of nuclei are called isobars. What are isobars? Just quite opposite. That is same A, different Z. Same atomic, same mass number. Mass number is same. Atomic number is different. If you take example, 6C14 and 7N14. If you observe this one, here the mass number is same. The mass number A is same. Here also 14. Here also 14. The different Z. The Z varies from carbon isotope to nitrogen isotope. Here Z is different, but A is same. What is the next type of nuclei? Those are isotones. The isotopes nothing but same number of neutrons. Same number of neutrons. Or A minus Z is same. A minus Z is same. The best example is if you take 6C13, 7N14. If you consider this example, here the neutron number A minus Z nothing but 13 minus 6, that is 7. Here also 14 minus 7, that is also 7. Here the neutron number is 7. In this case also the neutron number is 7. This way the nuclei which have same neutron number, those are called isotones. The next type of nuclei are called isomers. Actually this topic also we studied in chemistry. Isomers nothing but same A and same Z, means same atomic number, same mass number, but different energy. Due to the structure of molecule, the energies are different. Physically, that is expressed as, suppose 6C13 is one carbon isotope, 6C13 star represent this is excited, means the energy is different compared to 6C13. That's why whenever two nuclei have different energy, that is under comes category isomers. And the next concept is mirror nuclei. This is also one of the important concepts. What is the mirror nuclei? The mirror nuclei nothing but number of protons in one nucleus. One nucleus is equal to number of neutrons in other nucleus. Number of proton in one nucleus is equals to number of neutrons in other nucleus, then those two nucleus said to be mirror nuclei. Here, let's take an example. What is a mirror nuclei? Suppose 60, 13, and the other one is 7 and 13. If you consider this example, the number of proton in one nucleus, here the proton number is 6. The number of neutron in other nucleus, if you consider neutron number, that is nothing but A minus Z gives us neutron number, 13 minus 7, that is 6. These two are equal. Number of protons in one nucleus equals to the number of neutron in other nucleus. Then those two are said to be mirror nuclei. These are the different types of nuclei. Generally, the questions comes under this category. And the next one is, this is also previous question in NEET examination. That is, the nucleus 60, 13 and 7 and 14 can be described as isotones, isomers and isotopes. What is the correct option? Let us see. Here if you observe 60, 13 contains how many neutrons are there? A minus, that is gives a neutron number. Here 13 minus 6, that equals to 7. I think same example you discussed in examples also. The second one is 7 and 14. Here A minus, that is also 7. The neutron number is same. Neutrons are same. Whenever neutrons are same, these are under category isotones. The first option is correct. This is also a direct NCERT question. The next one is the next concept is mass defect and binding energy. This is also one of the important topics. What is a mass defect? Let us see. First, I have to discuss about mass defect. Discuss about binding energy. What is mass defect? Actually, we consider two different types of masses. What are those masses? The mass is taken as the mass measured or mass of individual nucleons or mass of total nucleons. In general, theoretically, the total mass of nucleus equals to the mass of the nucleus. But practically, that is not happening. The general situation is the measured mass is less than the mass of the total mass of nucleons. Means some mass is defective there. Here the measured mass is less than total mass of nucleus. Why? What happening here? Here the mass defect is represented with delta M. Yet whatever the defect happens, that mass is converted into energy. That energy is useful to bind the nucleus inside the nucleus. That's why the famous physicist Einstein gives the equation delta M equals to or delta E equals to, the energy conversion is delta M into C square. This is the energy equation by Einstein. That is, here the mass is converted into energy and vice versa. Energy is converted into mass also. In this case, the mass defect is converted into energy. That energy is useful to bind the nucleons inside the nucleus. That is the concept here. This is very, very important. How can write mathematically? That is also important. Let us see how mathematically we can express mass defect. the delta M equals to, delta M is mass defect. The mass defect is equals to the total mass. What is the total mass? ZMP plus A minus Z into Mn. That is the total mass of nucleons. We already discussed in the first concept. ZMP plus A minus Z into Mn, that is minus M measured. This is a basic equation for delta M. Delta M is equals to the difference between measured mass and the total mass of nucleus. The delta M also expressed in AMU, atomic mass unit, or in kgs. Whenever you express the delta M value in AMU, the binding energy equation. I said that what is the equation for binding energy? The energy is equals to delta M into C square. This is the binding energy. Where C is the speed of light. You know what is the value of speed of light? 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. The delta M is mass defect. Okay, whenever you express delta M in AMU, if you express delta M in atomic mass units, in our problems, the solution comes under the energy comes in MeV, 931.5 MeV. Whenever you are expressed, this is in AMU. If you delta M expressed in AMU, then the energy comes under 931.5 MeV. In another case, if you take energy in delta M is taken as kgs. If delta M is in kgs, if it is in kgs, obviously the energy comes in the units of joules. This is the concept of mass defect and binding energy. Let us discuss the next one. Average binding energy. This is very, very important. Why? Because generally we express the average binding energy to determine the stability of nucleus. The binding energy per nucleon is called average binding energy. That is represented by Bg by A. Binding energy per nucleon. Here binding energy equation you can write delta M into C square by A. This equation represents average binding energy, where in this case, what is the significance of the equation? If it is more, the value of delta M into C square by A is more, that represent is more stable, that nuclei is more stable. If it is less, that nucleus is less stable. Means the average what average binding energy represents? That represents the stability of nucleus. Let's move to next concept. That is packing fraction. What is packing fraction? The packing fraction represented with F. What is the fraction? The mass defect per nucleon. The mass defect per nucleon is called packing fraction. What is mass defect? The mass minus nuclear mass by A. What it represents, that is also important. The packing fraction represents also stability. Here M is measured mass, A is the mass of nucleus. The packing fraction represents stability. How it represents stability? If the packing fraction value is negative, that is more stable. That nuclei is more stable. If it is positive, that nuclei is said to be less stable. Means the packing fraction represent the stability. The reason the negative nothing but here, the fraction negative nothing but M measured is less, but then only the fraction is negative. Whenever M measured is less, that nothing but the measured value is less, nothing but the more mass is converted into energy that binds the nucleus inside the nucleus, that gives more stability. If it is negative, that is more stable. If it is positive, that is less stable. And also there is another case, if it is 0, then that is said to be moderately stable. That is moderately stable. These are the three cases arises in concept of packing fraction. The next one is, there is a problem. The mass of proton 1.0073 units and the mass of neutron is 1.0087 units. The binding energy of helium is 2He4. The binding energy can be expressed as, we remember these are U nothing but atomic mass units or units. If you want to calculate binding energy, first you have to calculate delta M. What is delta M value? The delta M value is ZMP. The formula is A minus Z into Mn minus M measured minus M measured. Here, if you substitute these values, ZMP plus A minus Z into Mn. What is the Z value of this given nucleus? The Z value is 2. The mass of proton is also given. The mass of proton is 1.0073 plus, what is A minus Z value? A minus Z is 4 minus 2. This is A value, this is Z value. 4 minus 2 of, what is Mn value? 1.0073. This is mass of nucleus minus the capital M is given value mass of helium here, that is 4.0015. If you simplify this equation, the value comes under AMU, that is approximately 0.0305 AMU. This is the mass defect in AMU. I've already said that whenever mass defect taken AMU, the binding energy calculation is like this. The binding energy is delta M in AMU into 931.5 MeV. If you substitute that value 0.0305 into 931.5 MeV, obviously approximately get 98.4 MeV. This is the calculation. This is the correct option is option 1. This is the basic concept in nucleus. This is very, very important concept. In next class, we will meet with another concept. Thank you.